What good fortune this young lady's had in the deer woods. So much so that we started steering her towards very tough deer to hunt so she wouldn't start to think it's easy. But that hasn't really worked out. Time and time again, her good luck shines through, landing lifetime class deer just hours into the season. She earns it, but there's an uncanny streak of luck like we've never seen.
So we got a little bit of brush up there now. There was a 9-point in here with tremendous Browtines, so that deer survived the season, and he looks really nice this year. But he's got a couple stickers and giant Browtines again.
But this was a year she'd have to put real time in when she decided to hunt a buck that we'd never even seen in years except on the stealth cam. Though with Taylor's luck, anything could happen.
He was off to the left, so I couldn't see him at all.
And then he laid down and he went to sleep.
In the past, Taylor's taken some incredible deer, and the only thing that surpasses the quality of those deer is the horseshoes that she has that seemingly produce encounters with target bucks in just the first days of her hunt.
Taylor's uncanny luck has been perplexing, almost making it look easy, so in 2021 I felt it was time for her to learn a lesson of sorts. And we started out after the giant lake buck, which was one of the toughest bucks we'd ever hunted.
You should learn that when you try to pick out a real big one that sometimes the season can get a little extended.
But with an I got this dad attitude, her confidence was unwavering. And shockingly, the unkillable buck was at 20 yards just hours into her first day. She has a knack for making it look easy, like the deer of a lifetime is just any other day. But after a hard winter and poor antler growth, 2022 would certainly set her straight. Like any year, we got to work covering some miles, me loving every minute of it, spending time with my daughter, and a chance sighting led us to one setup. We had found a mature buck that looked just pretty good on the stealth cam. Taylor casually decided to hunt that stand just to have a look in person. And now again, just day one, she not only seen the buck, but he was a monster Boone and Crockett typical. And almost as expected, just like that, she surpassed what many of us hunt our lifetimes for, again.
Now this year, at some point you know that lucky streak has the break, and we're hunting a big Browtine buck that we watched on our stealth cam for years but had never seen in person.
We had the pleasure to watch this buck for several years, though had never seen him in person, a unique tight and tall frame buck with absurdly large Browtines. Now in 2023, we'd picked back up on him in June and watched him all summer, watched his Browtines keep growing, and Taylor decided that this would be a possible buck for her to hunt. The fact that we'd never seen this deer in person made me think this was the perfect deer for her to finally have to put some time in on.
We actually left this blind up all winter. It's a pretty secluded spot, so we just put a pole prop in there, and it made overwinter really well. I mean, they're really durable blinds. So we got a little bit of brush up there now. We'll probably put a little bit more up and then a little bit up next week. If you recognize the spot, it's because this is where Magnus shot his deer last year. He shot his very first deer. There was a 9-point in here with tremendous Browtines. We thought he might get a look at it if he hunted here a couple nights, but he took a really nice deer before we had a chance to see that one. So that deer survived the season, and he looks really nice this year. He's kind of cleaned up, but he's got a couple stickers and giant Browtines again. He's a gorgeous deer and a little bit heavier. Our monster meal has been about 60 yards down at the end of this channel. We'll come up here. We'll put our monster meal up here now. We're gonna move our stealth cam Deceptor up to here, and we'll be set up and ready for the season.
Now set up, the first videos in from the Deceptor were him in broad daylight, but from the past years I knew that wouldn't last long, and Taylor's going to have to put in some serious time on this buck. Finally, the year Taylor was really going to have to put some serious time in, we were all set up, and we were getting consistent videos of the classy looking buck regularly, though we knew the buck had a history of disappearing in the week before season. With nothing left but equipment checks, Taylor spent the last days before season shooting her Excalibur to make sure she'd be on the mark when the chance arrived. A chance I was betting wouldn't be for weeks, if at all. The first day that Taylor was able to hunt, the conditions were wrong for the Browtine buck, though her and Steve decided there was no sense sitting at home. and headed into the muddy blind on our north plot on a very hazy, smoky day from all the northern fires in 2023.
Whitetail season, September 2023. This is Taylor's first night of sitting. We'll get to hunting and we'll sit back and enjoy our evening and see what happens. Hopefully something good.
It doesn't take long for deer to start to move and bucks emerge out into the plot through the smoke. As evening went on, they were lucky enough to see many of the local bucks and enjoy a calm evening. There's just something to be said for nights like this in the deer woods that just seems to calm the soul. More and more deer filtered out as the night went on, though no big deer were spotted and no arrow was sent, but a great night nonetheless, and the next time Taylor was able to get out, we were able to get into the Browtine buck stand.
She's back. I haven't got done with Taylor in a year. And Steve thinks he's the good luck charm now, but we know the truth, don't we, Taylor?
Sure.
So, it's been a busy year this year. She's had a lot of hockey tryouts and work. So you got a one night with Steve, you guys went to the plot. And she's quickly learned that after you shoot a couple booners, it gets really tough. And you have to be motivated by other things if you're going to hunt every year. But tonight, we got the conditions are right. She's done her hockey tryouts. She just got off work. And we get to come sit for one of these Browtine bucks. He's pretty cool. He's a 9-point this year. Great big, huge, tall Browtines. And like narrow, tall, weird, pretty bizarre deer. And a lot of the deer come down here. They come through this channel and out to this egg. So we've got lots of pictures and videos of him on the monster mule here. And he was pretty regular. And he should have shed velvet. Sometimes they go a little screwy when they shed their velvet, but I'm not 100% sure he shed. But he should be worried in that time, so hopefully he's hanging in there. She didn't get any more talkative hunting last year with Steve.
It's always a treat getting to hunt with my daughter, though to be honest, I felt a little guilty that trying to get her on a hard hunt had sort of become a thing. But in any case, I'll never complain about getting to spend time with her, and we were settled in for day one, of how many I didn't know. A bit of an afternoon nap, hockey, school, work, life is busy, and it's amazing how a deer blind can make the day-to-day regulars melt away. But there wouldn't be much time for napping tonight as I noticed movement, and early there was our first buck. This is actually not a very young deer. He was much more impressive the year before, though a tough winter and summer drought had taken its toll on him, something that was not uncommon this year with many bucks. Just settled in for the evening with Taylor, hopefully for most of the season, and the deer were moving early. I looked left, and unbelievably there was the Browtine buck. Another day one encounter with a big mature buck for Taylor, I nearly laughed out loud. And not only was the Browtine buck on the scene, he was so comfortable that he decided to bed down for a nap. Because he was to our left, Taylor couldn't see him just yet, and she didn't really believe me that he was just feet away, bedded down. Not just the Browtine buck, other bucks had bedded down too, which I found a bit terrifying. Anything could go wrong. We had him well within range, but no shot, and with time passing, it was more and more opportunity for something to blow the hunt. I watched the buck as he lay there, asleep, for over half an hour in disbelief. I tapped Taylor, who still couldn't see the buck, as I noticed him wake up and start to fidget. And just like that, he was up and moving into range. Taylor finally got her first look. A barrel-chested mature buck, tall tines and even taller brows, and in good light. What a treat we were getting to experience. It's beyond words. Again, on her first day hunting the deer, her hunts providing Vegas odds that cannot be believed, making me wonder if it's fate teaching me a lesson for trying to teach her a lesson by suggesting the toughest bucks to hunt.
Right there. He's toast. That was the most perfect shot of perfect shots ever.
Actually, again, right?
Oh yeah, he's toast. He's not going anywhere. Taylor, we've never even filmed that deer. Like, that deer's been in here for 6 years. I couldn't believe he came up here and then he laid down and he went to sleep. And he went to sleep for, it had to be half an hour.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I was so worried because, like, the longer he sits there, the longer the chance of something going wrong, you know? And then all of a sudden he decided it was time, and Taylor was on it. As expected. Taylor gets it done on the first day. Right on. Hey, we're gonna shut this off here and just be quiet for a minute, but I don't think there's any problems.
A perfect shot for the luckiest lady I know. We retrieved her arrow that was deeply buried into a tree trunk, astonishingly with no damage to it or the broadhead, before heading over to get her hands on the buck.
And that is one pretty cool deer. The deer's crazy, hey? His Browtines are nuts. Taylor, that's the big Browtine buck, hey?
Yeah.
Never filmed him in the last 6 years or 5 years, and you shot him on the first day you hunted him, hey?
Yeah.
Gorgeous buck. Great big Browtines. Nice mature buck. Boy, you sure added one to your record here.
Dad tapped me when he walked in and said he was there, but I didn't see him. Took him about 30 minutes for him to actually finally walk in. I was waiting and waiting, and I actually didn't believe him that the deer was there. He was off to the left, so I couldn't see him at all.
He had a nap. He literally had a nap. We knew the spot was set up really close to the bedding area. Maybe we're a little close. We might have to back off a little bit. There's not a lot of grown adults, let alone 17-year-olds, let alone 17-year-old girls that have the track record you've got on mature bucks. Sure proud of you. But you do a lot of work. All right, well, congratulations, kid. I'm proud of you. And we'll get them out here while we still got some light and back to the shop.
Yeah.
Well, I've got nothing. I don't even know what to say. If you've got a giant old buck that you just can't get an encounter with, call Taylor and you'll probably see him on the very first day. At just 17 years old, she's taken 6 tremendous bucks, all with arrows, 2 of Boone & Crockett quality, and just 8 days on stand. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Canadian Whitetail.
To book your own dream hunt in northern Saskatchewan, contact us at Canadian Whitetail Outfitters. Stay up to date with Dean and the team by following us on Instagram, liking us on Facebook, and subscribing to our YouTube channel.